Here we are, the Dyson boys. We're back for another fun-filled week. Because guess what? The Democrats and those on the left, man, they're just going to keep it up all week long, and we're going to be here capturing all we can. I'm Jay.
I'm Bobby.
That's my baby brother, Bobby. There's so much stuff coming out of the left. They provide so much stuff to talk about.
Yes,
that we could spend all day, every day, talking about these folks and the stuff that they do, the antics that they come up with. I'm telling you, liberalism, man, it is.
Yeah, you gotta have. I'm not sure if it's just opinions. Sometimes I think like you gotta have a certain mental condition to be a leftist. I'm really getting over to that point. I say liberalism. Leftists. Not liberalism, but leftists are mentally ill anyway. But I kind of jokingly, but I'm really starting to believe that you gotta have some kind of mental disconnect.
There's gotta be a disorder.
It's gotta be
of some kind.
Mike Savage used to scream this all the time, and I'm like, yeah, well, Mike's just trying to get his ratings up. But I'm thinking that Mr. Savage was right on. It's a mental disorder. It's gotta be.
It has to be. You look at how, and with liberals, and what they've done just here in the United States. I mean, they've convinced people that it's okay to self-identify. Man, be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, whatever you want to be.
Whatever you want to be. They've convinced people that, hey, man, you don't want your child? Hey, in the womb, take its life. And they've convinced people that it's okay to do that. They've convinced people that as far as Christianity is concerned, you don't have a voice.
Yeah.
And they've convinced people of that. They've convinced people that it's okay to do your own thing, to define your own truth, to disregard law and order. They've actually convinced people of that. They've convinced people that, hey, there's nothing wrong with you going out into the street and tearing the place up to exercise your freedom of speech. Right?
Somebody said or did something you don't like. So therefore you have the right to use violence to push back at them. Not that you can come up with, say, hey, let's sit down and talk together. No, what's to sit down and talk about?
No. We want to take the different road.
Yeah, we want to beat you into submission. You shut up. And if you don't shut up, we're gonna shut you up.
And they've convinced a lot of black folks that, hey man, everything you see has a racist undertone to it.
Yep.
They've convinced a lot of women, hey man, if everything you hear, hey, there's sexism in it.
Yep.
They convinced a lot of people, if a person says or disagrees with you or has another point of view, hey man, they're phobic in some kind of way.
Yeah, they're phobic. They violated you in some kind of way.
They offended you.
You're offended. It's like your feelings, your emotions. Everything's got to be on emotions and feelings, which is, really not normal. But, when you think about it, it's really not normal. You walk around here, your emotions, like somewhere, I forget who it was, said, Dana Losh said it. She said, it's got to be real difficult to get up every day to find something to be offended about.
Mm-hmm,
She said, that must be hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you get up. Every morning you come, you take your breath and awaken in the morning. Your first thought is, I got to find something to be upset about.
And what kind of happiness does that bring to a person's life if they're always looking for something to be offended over? They're always looking to pick a fight over something. They're always listening to every word you say. So when you say a word like man or woman,
I'm triggered,
or husband or wife,
I'm triggered.
Yeah,
You triggered me. Now I gotta do something to, because I'm triggered now. So now I got to get violent and upset.
Well, look at last week with Zena Bash. Because she was probably scratching her arm is what she was doing. And sometimes when you go to scratch yourself, you form the okay sign because you're using your index finger and your thumb.
No, Mr. Dyson, that's not why that is. That was a racist, clearly a racist indication. She was, throwing out that dime. So all you racists out there, you can get upset now and y'all can all spark the life. Now, exactly what they were supposed to do with that, I'm not sure. But obviously, it's a bunch of white racists running around here doing something that ain't getting in the news because evidently she triggered them and, this is, sparked them to life. So now they're out here doing whatever. I'm not sure what that is.
Meanwhile, you see leftists like Linda Sarsour getting arrested because they're in the Kavanaugh hearings raising hell.
Raising sand. They inside and outside. They getting arrested inside and outside the place, hollering and screaming and yelling. And now they want to complain because the Republicans are using their stupidity for commercials to run during the election cycle. And so now they're upset about that.
I say bravo.
I mean, if you stupid enough to give me, it's like, okay, here, we're going to fight, right? But here, I'm going to take this knife. I'm going to give you guns, this pistol, and here's some bullets, and so you come at me with the gun, I'm going to come at you with the knife. Then you shoot him. It's like, well, what you shoot?
What you shoot me for, man?
You came at me with a knife.
What is the problem,
but
man?
You didn't have to shoot me. Well, what was I supposed to do?
I guess I was supposed to let you get close enough.
To stick me with the knife?
To stick me with the knife before I did something.
No, I shot you. I should have shot you in the head, obviously, and do the world a favor. But I mean, you're this stupid. It amazes me, like, when I'm listening to this and I say, now, what are the chances of this coming back to bite them? 150%.
We said a long time ago, months ago, that you and I talking privately, it would be nice to see the Republican Party take all of these sound bites that the left is putting out there. It would be nice to see them use that stuff against them. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah.
And, yesterday, Bobby and I, we were talking about that. And it's like, what is it with the left and liberals and Democrats that cause them to go out and exhibit this behavior that we're seeing day after day after day? What causes that is because they've gotten away with it for so long. Many years.
No one's ever called them on it.
No one ever pushed back.
And so now they're getting pushback and they don't know how to deal with it. First off, the President Donald J. Trump, pushed them over the edge when he won. That just really unhinged them. They haven't recovered from that. That's like that, time you sprain your big toe and you thought you just sprained it, but when you bumped into a door or something and you go to the doctor and find out it's busted, right? It's the same thing with these guys. It broke them. That
it really did.
It did. It broke them. I mean, the idea that Hillary Clinton lost to this guy, Superwoman,
the smartest woman
in the world, lost to some bumbling doofus. As they see it, she was supposed to wipe the floor with him. Well, he wiped the floor with her. Mm-hmm. So, what do you already half crazy anyway, So it's now like, you had this one little wire dangling in there, it's holding on, it's holding everything up. Then somebody come along and said, snip. That was Trump. He comes along, he snips that last wire and you lose it. Mm-hmm. You don't know what to do now. So, falling back on leftist playbook, you get angry, you spit hate, you try to divide people, and you get violent. That's what you do as a leftist. That you can't convince people to follow you of their own free will. So we're going to make you
do it.
Going to make you do what we tell you to do.
And if you don't do it, then you're going to be some kind of phobe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have some phobia.
If you don't do it, you're going to be a racist. You're going to be a sexist. You're going to be, this phobe and that phobe and this phobe.
I'm not the problem. You are.
You are. Yep.
But
you are.
We're not the ones running around the street, smashing windows, bashing people.
Thank you.
Hollering and screaming at judicial hearings. We're not the ones doing that. We're not the ones parading around talking all this nonsense and screaming at the top of your lungs, and
getting arrested.
That's not the right. That's the left.
The left.
So this idea that, well, both sides have their problems. Yeah, both sides do have their issues. But who's getting arrested? Who's being violent?
Mm-hmm.
Who's running around shouting and hollering and screaming at people, shouting people down, telling you that you don't have a right to your opinion. You don't have a right to a opinion that opposes mine. Who's doing that but the left?
And on college campuses, the left, the liberals, have effectively shut down freedom of speech on college campuses.
Yes.
If you and I were to go to a college campus somewhere and say, hey, we want to come and speak to the students, hey, we're subject to have to be escorted by security because they don't want to hear our message.
Yeah.
Because they've been convinced that what we have to say is ludicrous.
Yeah.
And what they have to say makes all the sense in the world.
But they will get violent.
And we'll get violent.
To prevent that from happening.
Yep.
Yet they call themselves the same. But it's, you go into asylum, nobody in there thinks they're crazy.
Yeah. It's like the alcoholic doesn't think he's an alcoholic.
That's like the drunk. When drunk police stopped and, the police arrested me for drunk driving, but I wasn't drunk. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you failed the field sobriety test, man, big time.
You couldn't stand up. You couldn't stand up straight, man, but I wasn't drunk.
Now, here's an example of the crazy stuff that the loony liberal left will do. So there's this Democratic super PAC. It's called the Democratic Coalition. They filed what they call perjury charges with the Public Integrity section of the U.S. Department of Justice. They did this on Saturday. They faxed it in. Okay? They filed these perjury charges against Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court nominee, because he perjured himself before the Judiciary Committee in 2004 and 2006 when he was being confirmed, when he was going up for confirmation to the District Court of Appeals there in D.C.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's like, wait a minute. I didn't know a super PAC could file perjury charges against anyone. I thought that would be the purview of like the Judiciary Committee to file perjury charges. And then Twitter lights up people, well, he lied before Congress. No, it wasn't a congressional hearing, you idiots. You see what they do with
they
that.
don't teach civics anymore, so they don't understand the difference between Congress and
some committee.
And most people don't even realize that there's a Senate and a House. There's just Congress. They don't understand the workings of it. Are not.
Yeah. It's like I was reading an article yesterday. They were doing a man on the street, and they were asking people to name at least one justice on the Supreme Court.
Nobody can name it.
Well, people knew Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but they didn't know anybody else.
They didn't know anybody else, yeah. They just knew the ones that they hear a lot.
Yeah, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. What about Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, John Roberts? There's
Sotomayor.
Yes, Sotomayor. And soon to be Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
So this just goes to show that in the United States, people are more in tune with some rap group, with actors, than they are with people in leadership roles here in the United States.
Yeah, rules that pass laws that affect their lives.
Yeah.
They're listening to, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Thank you.
And all these people, and celebrities. Bill Maher does not make policy. He can say whatever he wants, but what he says is not law. It's not being passed into law. You can listen to anybody all day, but do you listen to what's going on in D.C.? No, because they don't want you.
Heck, even in your own state or community, local community, people just walk through the day having no idea what's going on around them from a political standpoint. Remember, during the immigration debate, this was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
people were out quoting, "Bring me the saying at the Statue of Liberty, bring me your poor, your huddled masses." And then people, that's the immigration policy. No, it's a doggone saying that was put on the Statue of Liberty after the Statue of Liberty was even erected here in the United States. It's not immigration policy.
Immigration policy.
But hey,
and even in that, they don't understand that coming to the country doesn't make you an immigrant. They think, well, they immigrated from Guatemala. No, they came to the country illegally. They're illegal aliens, from Guatemala. They didn't come, you don't just show up at the border and say, hey, I want to immigrate. And they just say, well, you come on in, Mr. Gomez. Come on in, sir.
Yep.
We're fine with you.
Yep.
No, that's not how it happens. You have to go through the proper channels.
Go through the process.
Well, they don't want to go through the proper channels. And the Democrats, the leftists, the globalists, they don't want them to go through the channels. They just want to flood America with immigrants.
And so they have other people convinced that there is no need for these people to go through the proper channels. It's like citizenship without question.
Yeah, you just automatically, once you make it to America, you're automatically a citizen.
Yep.
No, you're an illegal alien.
They talk about
came here illegally.
You hear the left talk about a path to citizenship. Well, a path to citizenship has a process that you have to go through that will take you years.
Our immigration process is broken. No, you just don't want to follow it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's worked for these past 250 years. It'll keep working if you follow the process. We don't want to follow the process. We want to do what we want to do.
Yep. Now, back to the Democratic coalition. So these idiots, this is how the left doesn't think, they just do stuff.
Yeah.
These idiots, they want to haul Kavanaugh before the Court of Appeals there in D.C. Court of Appeals? Oh, so you mean this has been tried in some other lower court already?
Yeah.
And now they're appealing to the Court of Appeals there in D.C. So you're going to start up here. You're not going to start down here. You're going to start up here.
Well, it'll take too long.
Okay. Yeah. Let's wipe all this stuff out of the bottom out. Okay. And we'll start right at the Court of Appeals. It's like, again, don't you guys even bother with researching anything? You just go out there and just start saying stuff. Like Cory Booker last week. You just start saying stuff.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, hey man, what you said was a lie.
Yeah.
You looked right, Cory Booker, you looked right into the camera. Virtually into every person that was listening, you looked right in their eyes and told a lie.
Yeah.
Now, David Hogg. Everybody know who David Hogg is, right? Parkland school shooting. David Hogg. Okay, connect the dot there. This idiot, he's up in Canada along with that other idiot, Michael Moore.
The walrus.
What did you call him, Bobby?
The walrus.
The walrus. Laying around on the ice all day long.
I can't stand you.
He's up in Canada. He's telling the crowd up in Canada to commit a felony.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know.
Oh.
The felony he wants them to commit is for Canadian citizens to donate to people who are running for office here in the United States. Dude, that's a felony.
No, but.
Oh, but again, rules and regulations and laws don't matter to the left.
No, they don't apply to the left. Those are for everybody else, you know. It's just like if they did have power, you know, the rules that they live under and the rules that you're going to live under are not going to be the same. They're going to impose their rules on you and make you do like they want you to do. But now they're not going to follow those same rules. You know, they're going to be able to do whatever they wish and however and you're not going to have any say so. And so if you stand up and say, well, hey, wait, that ain't right. What do you mean that ain't right? Or, you know, somebody get him. And you're never going to be heard from him.
They haul you off to the gulag.
Yeah, you ain't never going to be heard from him because you're inciting dissension and you know, how did my boy say in The Last of the Mohicans? That's sedition.
Yeah.
Because one day they want to stay in the fort and do what he wanted them to do. That's sedition.
Yeah.
And they were looking at it like, nah, you trying to tell me that I don't have a right to protect my own property. I got to do what the British Crown say. You know, they was like, you know, go get stuff.
Forget the fact that the Indians are attacking all along the frontier,
they don't care about
and their
that.
families were in jeopardy. Nah, you're going to stay here in the fort, and if you try to leave,
fight these French.
Yeah. If you try to leave, that's going to be sedition, and we're going to hang you.
Yeah, we're going to hang you. You know, this is basically when you oppose the left, you're being seditious.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
you are not a patriot. Because if you're a real patriot, you would support the left in everything they do.
Oh, did you hear about Barack Obama was out in Anaheim, California, giving a speech, right? Did you see where they had probably 750 people there in the auditorium listening to his speech? Dude, this is California.
When you wonder, how many people did you pay to come up in here? You know, this was so riveting, and California was so excited about this dude being there. You couldn't get 1,000 people up in there.
Couldn't get 1,000 folks. Matt, you're in California. This is liberal land. Even Disney is gone liberal out there in California. 750 folks? Now, I've been in the Anaheim convention there in Anaheim, California. Boys and I went to a concert there back in 2000. That's a huge place, man. That is not a little place. You're talking about tens of thousands of people can be put into that convention center out there. Dude, you can only muster up 750 people. Here's what's happening, folks, with the left. People are waking up to the lies. And people are now beginning to see that the left is filled with lunacy. They're hearing it every day come from that lying mainstream media. They're looking at the antics like we saw last week.
Yeah.
In the judicial hearings for Brett Kavanaugh. They're seeing this stuff. They're watching Obama go around the world talking about our democratic society and never using the word republic.
Yeah.
Okay? People are beginning to wake up. People are hearing about the walk away movement and hearing the left try to minimize the walk away movement like one guy did with us last week.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a mass exodus. And I came back to him, it's like, how do you quantify what a mass exodus is? How do you quantify that? Just by you saying it's not a mass exodus doesn't make it so. Just by me saying that it's a mass exodus doesn't make it so. The simple fact is, people are walking away. That's the simple fact.
And it's like this, you know, you have a leaky faucet and you put a pot in it, you know, say a half a gallon pot, and you hear the water hitting the pan, and after a while, you start hearing water dropping in water. You know, and it depends on how full it gets, you start hearing water running down the drain. So it doesn't have to be, you know, a flood to fill that pot.
That's right.
And the point is, nobody is saying, hey, I'm tired of this right wing crap. I'm tired of, you know, my taxes being lowered. I'm sick and tired of people not telling me what to do. You know, I'm fed up with that. So I'm turning to the left. I'm going to be a leftist now. You know, nobody's doing that.
No. Yeah.
You know, nobody's doing it. They're losing. And it's stuff like this. Your ex guy used to be in the Oval Office. He's out here with this speech. Trump's policies aren't successful because they're Trump policies. These things are successful. The economy is booming because of my policies. Now, your policies, you said that 2% GDP was now the high watermark when your policies were enforced.
We'd never see the GDP over 2%.
Mm-hmm. Expect 1.2, 1.34 at the highest.
That's
going to be the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
So now you say, well, here we are talking about GDP, you know, at
better than 4%.
Better than 4% for 2018. The projected is 4.2 for 2018. Whether it gets that high or not is not the point. The point is, if it's 3%, it's over what he said was possible. Mm-hmm. How is he going to bring jobs back? And all this blah, 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 blah.
Going to wave a magic wand.
He's going to wave a magic wand. All this nonsense. So now, after you say Trump's policies aren't the reason for the success in the economy is your policies, when your policies said 1.2, 1.3 was going to be the new norm. So now all of a sudden, your policies cause it to jump up to 3, headed to 4. Your policies, you know.
When, like you said, it would never get to that point.
When you said that your policies were in place, if they stayed in place, this was the new norm, get used to it. So now you're going to flip and say, well, that extra, you know, that rise to 3% is my policies. No, that's a lie. And people I mean, you say that junk like people can't go back and listen to your stupid speech. Right. You know, and everybody's like, wait a minute, you said back here this. Now you claiming that your policies did this? How?
And then you ridiculed Trump by saying that jobs weren't going to come back. How's he going to make that happen? Is he going to wave a magic wand over it? Well, apparently he waved this magic wand because jobs
or something.
Something. You know, because jobs started coming back to the country.
Something that you didn't do because, you know, according to you, we were living in the norm.
Yep.
What was happening in 2016 was the norm and get used to it. That's what you told us. Now all of a sudden, no. I misspoke. No, you didn't. You meant what you said.
Yep.
Now that Trump's in there, he's doing things differently. The steel plant in Gary, everybody was thinking, well, you might as well take that and push it into Lake Michigan. It's never going to open again. And they're opening the thing again. You know, these kind of things are happening in people's lives for real. And they're seeing the difference. And so it's like, wait a minute. We had 8 years of this duck and we lost our jobs. Our economy was in recession. Our jobs are going overseas. These past 4 ducks that was in the White House.
You're talking about Bush 1,
Bush 2, Clinton, all
Bush 2, and Obama.
Yeah, you know, you had us thinking that our economy is what it was. It was never going to get any better than this. We couldn't improve on this. Hey, get used to it. That's what we were told. And now here I was thinking about that. I hadn't even said anything to my brother about it. The last time I remember the optimism, that's not the news, but the optimism of the American people was like when Kennedy got elected. You know, there was something in the air then. You know, America felt like it was moving forward. You know, he lowered taxes. You know, things started looking good after coming out of the 60s, the end of World War II. There was optimism in America again. And that's what we are seeing now being built day by day. And the left hates that. And they want to have you people at each other's throats, mad at each other. We're talking about one of our relatives. Somebody say something on Facebook, you know. Now we're talking about somebody in the health industry that's been in the health industry, trained to be in the health industry, and they were bringing up a valid point. And somebody chimes in with, well, racism. Like, why you gotta make everything about race? You're programmed by the Democrats to think like that. If you're black, everything is about race.
Everything's about race.
If you're a woman, everything is about being a woman. If you're a minority, everything is about being a minority. Everything is about your race, your skin color, your sex. Nothing is real anymore. It's only real if you decide that you want it to be real. If you don't want to be a woman, you can be a 45-year-old Chinese man, if that's what you want to be.
Yeah. It's like, I remember when Ben Shapiro was talking to this transgender male, female, whatever. And he asked the transgender a question. It's like, okay, so I'm going to define you as a moose, but I'm not a moose. Well, if I say you're a moose, you are. But I'm not a moose. Well, you say that you're a man. Yeah. But you're not a man, you're a woman. See, this self-identification thing again. You can self-identify into what you want. See, and that blew up in their face too. Because you have now a situation in the sports world where guys are self-identifying as women and then going out and competing against women in these sports events like wrestling and track, whatever, and wearing these girls out. Wearing them out. Now people are complaining about it. It's like, didn't you idiots see that coming?
You can't complain about it.
Yeah.
Because at the time you thought it was okay.
A good idea.
And see, it's this kind of nonsense that's making people come to the understanding that, hey, you guys are nuts.
Yep.
You guys you're nuts. You're wackos.
Yep.
I don't want to be a part of that.
I won't have anything to do
with the nonsense you guys are throwing out here. I don't want to be associated with that because I don't believe in none of that crap.
So now people are starting to wake up. And I believe a lot of people are being emboldened now to say something.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if you had something to say, you didn't say it, you kept it to yourself, and now people are speaking out. And so the liberals see themselves losing control.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. They see themselves losing control, and they don't like what they see.
Because it's not like business or sales. You're the only game in town. You're the only hamburger joint in town. Then another guy down on the other side of town, he opens up him a hamburger joint. So now you got competition. So now it's about who's going to make the best hamburger. What do people
for the best price?
For the best price. What do people want? What kind of hamburger do you want? You tell me and I'll make it for you. So now you got competition. Well, with the left, there's no such thing as competition because it's not like once you lose somebody to your, somebody in themselves decide, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. Once that person does that, you can't get that back. It's not, you're not going to sell them anything because they already have what they want. They're not, okay, yeah, I was a Democrat, but I wasn't a leftist. And you guys have moved too far to the left.
Too far.
So I'm out of them. Not to say they're going to become conservative. Not to say that they're going to become Republicans. Right. We just are not, okay, I might not move on the other side of town, but I'm moving out of this neighborhood. Right. I'm done with this now. I don't want to live here no more. Right. I don't want to have association with the nonsense that's going down in here. And that's basically what you got. So there's nothing you can come to that person with and say, hey, yeah, but we make a better burger than that other guy. No, this isn't sales.
It's like with us, and we've talked about this before, when you're in conversation with someone from the left. Hey, if you can convince me that your position is right for me, then I'll come along with you. But no one's been able to convince me that I should make that move to the left.
To the left.
Because my value system and my belief system won't allow me to do that.
Yeah.
Will not allow me to do that.
most people believe in law and order.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, most people you run across believe in law and order. Most people you run across ain't gonna try to knock you in the head and take your wallet from you. Most people are just hardworking people just like you that want to raise their families. You don't want to succeed at whatever they set their hand to. They really don't want a lot of government bothering them and telling them what they can do. Most people want freedom and liberty. Most people do. Now, the left is telling you, you don't need freedom and liberty. Well, people haven't really understood that until now because they haven't had other sources to define those things for them. You know, the left has always said, no, you know, this, we're right, and these people don't care about you, blah, 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 blah. But now they're looking at, well, if you care so much about me, how is this plant over here been sitting empty for, you know, ever since
For decades.
you know, I remember when it closed. And now it's opening again, but it's not under your watch. Why didn't it open under your watch?
Under your watch.
And people are asking questions. Wait a minute, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
You're lying to me.
Yeah, yeah, and you have been lying to me.
You're
for
a bunch of liars.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to you, I get the same old lie. If you let Judge Kavanaugh, the world is going to turn into a burning cinder in space.
It's like it's going to get the Earth all of a sudden. If this guy gets confirmed to the Supreme Court, we're gonna the whole world's gonna get sucked into a black hole. The end of everything.
Yeah, end of everything. You know, it's the end of everything for the left. But they want to convince you that, you know, children are going to starve. You know, the old playbook: children starving children. You know, grandma getting tossed over the cliff. All these things. All your health care and Medicaid and Social Security is going to be all taken from you. You're going to be dirt poor and lying in the street, and nobody's going to be there to help you because you didn't vote for us.
Yeah, and the most uncharitable people live on the left.
Yeah,
because it's all for people on the left. It's all about them and them only.
And I think that's the element that has to be part of the leftist vision. You got to be a self-serving jerk.
Yeah.
You know, because if you have any charity in you, it's hard to be a leftist. You know, if you really care about people, you know, for the left, it's the agenda. You know, I keep telling all my leftist friends, go to any major city in America, all right, and find you a soup kitchen or a food giveaway. I guarantee you it's going to be a church that's behind that, or a group of churches that's behind that. It's not going to be the ACLU.
Or the Democratic Coalition.
No, they don't do that kind of thing. They just take your money.
They want to destroy the fabric of the country. Give them a smash, Bobby.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at my leftist camaraderie. I can't help myself. It's been a great week. I just enjoyed myself. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing, hit the like button. If you want to hear more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get daily updates every time we put something up, ring that bell.
Ring the bell.
And you'll be abreast of what we're doing. And again, thanks to all you people who have subscribed and all the people who have liked.
Absolutely.
And hey, we appreciate your comments. We appreciate all that you've said. And again, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, just ring us up and let us know. Say, hey, I would like you guys to approach this issue. We'll be glad to do that for you.
Be glad to do it for you. We will be back tomorrow because we know we will have something to talk about because that lying mainstream media, the Democrats, and folks on the left, all you liberals will always give us something to talk about.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah, we sure do. We sure do. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.